Here we have another entry in the Turd to Treasure series. This one doesn't quite make it all the way to treasure, but it's not a turd anymore either. This is an obviously well played with Hot Wheels Flyin Low, which is the Monte Carlo stalker body. Took it apart and everything seemed fine. Typical car. Yeah, just take the pieces apart, off with the wheels. I'm going to swap those out, put some real riders on there. Body's been pretty well knocked around. Colors are horrible, but the chassis has been melted somehow. It's been burned, and I'm not quite sure how that happened. The rest of the body doesn't show anything like that. So anyhow, moved on and went through the usual, stripped it. The body obviously looked a little rough, but hit it with the wire wheel, got it all shined up. And then I wanted to work on some of the body lines, so did the usual filing and just got rid of some of the casting lines, cleaned some things up, got the body looking a little better. But in the back of my mind, I kept thinking about how odd it was that the base was melted like that, wondering what happened. What kind of torture this poor little car had been through. We're going to make it pretty, though. So, anyhow, I thought this metallic dark metal color would look good on it. It seemed like a good color, looked nice and everything. And then I thought I'd try for the first time baking it. A lot of people do that. And yes, that's my shiny head you see there if you look closely in the background. That round thing with the ears on it. Well, the paint started bubbling and boiling and horribly, and so I stripped it again. And it was odd the way it bubbled. I didn't have it that hot, so I thought, well, let's just go to the Duplicolor metal cast paint that I love so much and hit it with a green. And again, the paint just wasn't cooperating. It's like the car didn't want to be painted. Not quite sure what was going on. So had to wet sand it, and it looks a lot more vigorous here than it actually was. It's not like I was pressing that hard, but I start to wonder in the back of my mind, what happened to this little car? Yeah, we're closing in on Halloween, and is this possessed or something? And I know Anthony over at Kamikaze Customs, who's from Louisiana, is probably saying, Jim, don't joke around about those kind of things. But anyhow, kept working on the car. Thought we're going to make this thing look good. So wet sanded it. Ended up where it got a decent shine to it, the clear coats, and I was happy with how it ended up. It wasn't necessarily as shiny as I hoped for, but considering where it started, it was acceptable, and that's kind of where this car is. It's definitely not my best work, but it's a lot better than it started out. And given the looks of that car originally, I thought I just want to get this thing done and get it on the shelf and get it somewhere safe and sound. So didn't do too much detailing on it. I knew I was going to have to do some axle tubes on it because I was putting these real riders on it, and got the windshield glossy and with gauzy. And the one thing I detailed was that fire extinguisher. That definitely is important on this car, given its history. So you notice that there's a hood scoop made into that interior, and there's no hole for it on the hood of the car. So I cut that off and figured, well, heck, I'll use that on some future build, put that in the scrap bin. So put the car together, had the wheels on it there from the axle tubes, did a little tiny detailing on the base, did the exhaust pipes, and that's about it. The rest of it's still melted. It's still scorched down there. So I wasn't going to try and recreate the driveline and everything else. So let's get this thing together. And You'll see it's still a little bit mangled, but it's finished. I guess that's a good thing. It's better than it was. So there's where we started out. And that poor little car, God knows what horrors that thing has seen. And we did a little work to it. And here's where we ended up. You still see the bumper still a little mangled, and that car looks angry to me. There's something about it. It just does not look happy. But I'm happy with it. Let's get this thing on the shelf. So I know this video is shorter than usual, but I hope you've enjoyed it. Coming up on October 30th is the Halloween build off. So I will be having a car video drop on that day. Devil's Details Diecast is sponsoring that, so be sure and check everything out. Thanks for watching. Check out some of the other videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to all of you that do subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend and enjoy Halloween that's coming up shortly. Bye.